Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. Bharat's domestic air traffic touched a new high on Sunday as the airlines carried over 4.5 lakh passengers, marking 2 consecutive days of historic numbers. On Saturday as well, the number of air traffic had crossed 4.5 lakh passengers. Sharing the record numbers, Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia said there is no stopping Bharat now from becoming the world's largest aviation market. Following Deepavali festive week, the Chhath Puja festival recorded trade worth more than 8,000 crore for retailers. Earlier, 3.5 lakh crore trade was reported during this year's Deepavali. The data was shared by the traders' body, Confederation of India Traders, and according to CAT, the purchase of Indian products also cost Chinese goods a trade loss of more than 1 lakh crore rupees. Now, with the conclusion of Dhanteras, Deepavali and Bhai Dooj, the festive season in Bharat more or less over. Inputs gathered from industry executives suggest that the festive season closed on a sound note, with sales comfortably surpassing last year's numbers. Smartphones were a clear winner, with huge consumer demand for the premium range of phones. Meanwhile, Bharat is set to emerge as the second largest producer of solar modules by 2025, surpassing Southeast Asia, and is expected to cater mainly to US demand. There is speculation that to support the export ambitions, Bharat might actually lower duty on Chinese modules, which currently got a 40% tax. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all that's happening on and all around us. But let's set up debate number one. And the story comes from the national capital and the government of Delhi, which has got a demand from the courts saying if you don't move the rapid rail transit system and move on it and release funds for the same, we may look at a stricture on your ad spends.
रैपिड रेल के लिए आप पैसे नहीं देते हैं तो आपका जो विज्ञापन का पैसा उसको सीज किया जाएगा और उसको रैपिड रेल के लिए ट्रांसफर किया जाएगा। इतनी कड़ी टिप्पणी के बाद अगर कोई नैतिक रूप से चल रही सरकार होगी तो उसको अपने ऊपर शर्म आएगी।
So the top of our country issuing a warning to the Delhi government led by Arvind Kejriwal for breach of undertaking given to it to provide funds for the regional rapid transport system. Now, the top court has directed the Aam Aadmi Party government to transfer funds for advertising to the project if they are claiming they don't have enough. So they said, we will try and pass a stricture if you don't make the funds available. Now, isn't this a big rap on the knuckles, ladies and gentlemen? In its application, the National Capital Regional Transport Corporation, the Apex Court had directed the Delhi government to contribute to the Delhi Meerut RRTS project 500 crore rupees within 10 days. However, there is still a balance amount of 415 crore left. Now, in the application filed by the National Capital Regional Transport Corporation, it is said that in spite of a delay of 6 months since the order dated April 21, 2023 was passed by the Apex Court, the Aam Aadmi Party-led government in Delhi has released only 80 crore against the due amount. The BJP going on guns blazing, calling the court's warning to the AAP shameful. The real question here is the hubris coming undone. Now let's try and take a look at the scathing observations made by the Apex Court. Observation number 1, the government specifically mentioned balance of 415 crore is payable by the Aam Aadmi Party. Observation 2, this is a gross breach of assurances given by the Delhi government. Observation 3, national projects are being affected with money spent on advertisement. We will stay and attach advertising budget if you don't fork up the cost of the cash. Order to be kept in abeyance for a period of 1 week. You have 7 days. If funds not transferred, order will come into operation. That means there will be a freeze on the ad spends of the Delhi government, and that money will be diverted to make available for this project, RRTS project. Now let's have a look at the timeline of events. This is not a recent phenomenon. since March 2019. That first time the SC Supreme Court directed the government, Delhi government, to contribute 265 crore from ECC fund within 10 days. Then on the 6th of March again, the top court noted the centre's contribution for Delhi Meerut RRTS project. And April 21st, 2023, the Supreme Court directed AAP to contribute 500 crore from ECC. And then finally, what happens? In July 2023, Delhi government claims lack of funds for RRTS project. Supreme Court called for all the ad spend details. Where's your marketing budget? Give us details of that. Delhi government agreeing to make budgetary provisions to share funds for RRTS project. Then on 24th July, Abhishek Manu Singh on behalf of AAP assured that funds would be made available. And then November 2021, so April to November, nothing's happened. The Supreme Court now pulled up the Delhi government and asked them to transfer 415 crore rupees. So the question mark, once again, all the hubris, this whole aspect of we are doing everything for the people of Delhi and we are contributing. Meanwhile, says it's the centre that's blocking because GST dues, revenue due has not yet come back. We'll come to that in just a bit. But the bigger question is this hubris coming undone?
Hello, Moto.
Shazia Almi, national spokesperson of the BJP with us, and Manasvi Thapar, lawyer and political analyst, also join us on this story. Shazia Almi and Manasvi, namaste. Thank you very, very much for joining us. Namaste and Jai Hind. My first question, Shazia Almi, has the centre not given what is due to the Delhi government? If they don't have funds, they don't have funds.
You know what the Aam Aadmi Party's favourite excuse is? That they're not being allowed to work. Now, since these people know only how to agitate and get to a situation of confrontation and know little about administration and also want to know very little, this is what we are suffering from. And all of Delhi is getting choked in this bizarre situation, in the toxic fumes. All, the shamelessness and the ineffectiveness of this party called Aam Aadmi Party, which sought to change things, is such that they would not either take responsibility but indulge in only blame game, and neither will they admit that they can't do anything about it. They don't want to, because there is no will. And this is exactly what Supreme Court has said today. And the easiest thing to do, Anand, is to muddy the waters. Say center nahi kar rahi hai, center nahi kar rahi hai, ye kar raha, wo nahi kar raha. But there is specific jurisdiction of every agency, of every state government, of different departments, of CPCC, DPCC, Punjab Pollution Control Board. It's very specific and very clear. So to say that the areas overlap is to run away from responsibility, obfuscate and lie. The truth of the matter is, it's very clear. So when people ask me sometimes, well, this is what they've spread, this cannot, centre's not doing anything. They must answer for themselves. What is the Environment Minister of Punjab and Delhi doing? What are the various CMs doing? How are they preventing the stubble farming that is going on there for the
But
fires?
this is not just Parali, Shazia Almi. Parali also. Parali, there was an adverse note on the Parali issue or the stubble burning issue also by the Supreme Court, saying don't blame the farmers, etc. and from Haryana. But what we are discussing is the rapid rail transit system. What we are discussing is the RRTS.
Yes. Do you know Manish Sisodia?
Where they said the advertising budget
we went to Finland and Sweden to discuss buses and forget about getting more buses for DTC. They actually reduced that. And thanks to Metro, which is again a joint partnership between the centre and state that is actually running. But even there, they created so many hurdles. So the interest is not at all administration, and I don't think it's lack of political will. It's simply either no interest or complete utter uselessness, because they have just not looked at it. And 8-9 years of just blaming the other party, everyone else taking responsibility and doing good by Delhi citizens. Some things are beyond politics.
It's about the people. It's for the people. Fact of the matter is, one thing one must note, Manasvi Thapar, is that it was not the AAP that went back after April 2023 to the Supreme Court to say, listen, I cannot honour my commitment or my promise because I I'm not being given the money. If that was the real case, then you should have, when I say you, the Aam Aadmi Party should have been the one going back to the Supreme Court saying, sorry, I can't honor my commitment because I don't have money. That's not been the case here. Please.
Good evening. Good evening, Anand. For a minute, I was confused that we are discussing Parali or we are discussing pollution or something like that, because I was told that we are supposed to discuss RRTS. Somehow coming back to the topic of RRTS, I think it's a joint effort of all the three governments. When I say three governments, basically to tell our viewers, joint efforts of Uttar Pradesh government, the central government, and the Delhi government, and with the order of the Supreme Court, which is very specific, and it's definitely
Make another jalebi. Convenient.
Okay, let him. He didn't interrupt you. शाहजिया जी, see, आप दोनों ही हैं. मैं भी बंद कर देता हूँ बोलना. आप दोनों ही just let one complete and the other respond.
This is pathetic.
Please.
To just hear this, this.
Okay, please, Shahaja ji, please yield. You had your time. Let him speak. Then you please respond. Yeah,
Sure.
thank you. You can come. Yes, Manasvi, please complete.
I didn't want to interfere her, and I didn't wanted to make any jokes out of it, because I wanted to talk on the factual point of it. The factual point, definitely with the Supreme Court's order, and I would not say order, it's on the right track for the development of this nation. And when the Supreme Court is saying it, I am very happy, and I am very proud that things are happening in a proper way in this country. And very soon, the Supreme Court has given 7 days time to the Aam Aadmi Party government to give that money, and I think they would be in their all propriety to make sure that the money is going to come from whatever allocation they are going to do that, and it goes to the government of India, so that the RRTS project, which is working on a timeline, is moving forward. I don't think that will not happen. We have to trust the government. It's very easy to come unprepared and blame the government for Parali while this is not the case. We have to discuss on the RRTS project, and I would, if I would go on asking Shahaja ji, what is the component of UP government's percentage in this allocation? I would not want to.
But why would you do that? No, why would you do that? Why won't you take responsibility? If you've chosen to be the Aam Aadmi Party spokespersons today, you should be able to answer the question where Supreme Court has said that you had a budget of 1,110 crores for 3 years.
You are asking me a question.
You are a spokesperson today, so our people will ask you, right? 1,100 crores allocated for advertisements.
What is the allocation of the government?
Advertisements. 1,100 crores. 1,100 crores. Honestly, hear yourself. Feel embarrassed for the fact that you've been representing this party right now.
No.
Very shameful.
Okay, allow me to please intervene. One second. But the point is, be it the case of stubble. Right now we are discussing RRTS, so I'm going to stick to RRTS. We'll come back to RRTS. 1,100 crores. 1 minute. 1,100 crores is the advertising budget for the top court to turn around and tell the government.
Can you imagine?
Not just Wada Khilafi. That means someone like Abhishek Manu Singhvi has assured on behalf of the AAP government in April, and April का November हो गया, आपने कोई commitment का भूल गए. So that is one. The second part is that it's not the AAP government which went back to the Supreme Court to say, listen, I cannot do this for you because I have not got money. That's not the case. Third, your allocation of 1,100 crores for advertisements has been cited, and the Supreme Court has taken cognizance saying, वहाँ से पैसा निकाल ना डालेंगे because this is more important than your ads.
Correct.
That's a very adverse statement. No, that's a very adverse statement.
Point. I will not speak after this.
100%. Anand, there is no.
Anand,
we have another 7 minutes on the debate. Allow Manasvi to speak, and then I'll come back to Shahaja ji for your next point.
Sure.
Please. Thank you.
Shahaja ji is speaking on my behalf also and not letting me. So, Anand, I don't think there is any doubt on what Supreme Court said. I think whatever questions you have raised, these are very, very valid and vital questions. Now, my question, what comes to my mind is 1 week's time has been given. Let Aam Aadmi Party perform and give the amount of 400 plus crores to the government. They fail. They definitely fail at everything. There is no two ways about it.
But the fact is that this is something Manasvi, I agree, 7 days में नहीं दिया तो then सब में fail. But the March 2019 से ये मसला चल रहा है. तब से पैसा रिलीज करो, पैसा रिलीज, हर बार कोर्ट पे जाना पड़ रहा है पैसा रिलीज करने के लिए. एड बजट में तो पैसा रिलीज करने के लिए कोर्ट में नहीं जाना पड़ रहा है. That's the observation. Yes, Shahaja ji.
Something very small, and I'm not saying this. I'm just quoting what the Supreme Court is saying today. The advertising funds is 1100 crores for the last 3 years, rupees 550 crores for this year. We would have been inclined to transfer those funds. However, on last day, Dr. Singhvi has assured that the funds would be made available. When was the last hearing?
April 2023.
Not exactly, and not just that. This has been said. It's a matter of great shame. I know. I don't know, Manasvi. You have courage to come and defend Aam Aadmi Party today. Full marks to you for this bravery and this bravado, rather, I should say. We will have to stay and attach an advertising budget if you do not give funds for the RRTS project. My dear friend, please, this is RRTS we're discussing. When you talk about pollution, you look at everything. You look at vehicular pollution, you look at all the contributing factors, including stubble burning. This is what we are going through. You live in Bombay, but I'm sure you know what people are going through in Delhi. We have family members who are suffering. So please understand, I mean, this is, to even defend it, this is not even said by BJP or Congress party right now. It is coming straight from the court. And for 9 years, we've had the same discussion.
See,
I know I've had this discussion now for 9 years, sitting right here.
See, one of the two things which actually gave the Aam Aadmi Party a lot of currency with the people of Delhi. When I say political currency with the people of Delhi, were promises on Parali and promises on easing the traffic and congestion and connectivity between Delhi and the neighboring regions. Now, these are two things which are, integral to these two issues, both pollution and the RRTS project. In the case of the RRTS project, the fact is, it's not a recent thing. Even the last time around for release of money from the Delhi government, the NRTC had to go back to the court. In March 2019, they had to go to the court to get 265 crore released. Then again, they had to go to the court to get the next installment released. All this while, the ad budgets have only ballooned. That's something which the Supreme Court has taken notice.
And Anand, they beat up chief secretaries for release of their funds. Can you imagine? A former chief secretary, and there is an order to effect. They beat him up at midnight. To Prakash, who was a former Delhi chief secretary, because he would not release funds.
My thing is, see,
look at this government and look at the audacity and the utter ineffectiveness of it all, and what is translating to becoming a big nightmare. I'm shocked. You know, my car is barely 5 years old. It's a diesel car. They're 20,000 rupee challan if you run it. Why? Because this is the great solution Kejriwal has come up with. Imagine
the point is,
everybody. I mean, this.
My point is Delhi to Meerut on the highway is 40 minutes. But if my car is a BS4 vehicle, I can't ride it. So I can't use the highway. Had there been an RRTS, at least we would have looked at the option of an RRTS. That's another example. Yes, Manasvi, please. Yeah.
See, the Supreme Court verdict is very much out, and Supreme Court also, with its all wisdom, have given 1 week time to the government. So why this hurry? I totally understand the hurry and the importance of RRTS project. There is no doubt about it. But being understanding of it, and we also have to understand the order in totality. Had it been the case the Supreme Court has not given the order of 7 days, we would have been jumping on the guns. Let us wait. The money is going to come. I'm very sure about it. With this kind of an order and this kind of debate happening, I don't think any political party or government of any state is going to withhold any kind of money there. We know the relationship between Aam Aadmi Party, or for that matter any opposition party in government with the centre, the kind of trouble they are having, and there is a kind of federal structure performing well with the parties. But having said that, this is a national project. This is a project of national importance and commutation for people of NCR region. It's very important. And Aam Aadmi Party, in its full wisdom, will make sure that
that's exactly see, centre and